The room was dark, curtains blocking the moonlight from entering the room. The laptop screen behind the only reason of light in the darkness, as the girl who sat in front of it scrolled to the bottom of the page after getting done with writing the fiction and published it. Once the page shown it was done, she finally closed the laptop. She threw her head back against the chair and stared at the ceiling. She was a fictional writer. She went by an anonymous name. No one knew who she was. She never shared her social media. It was her hobby, crafting love and desires into words which couldn't exist in reality. An exhale left her lips as she imagined everything she wrote happening to her in reality. Was it possible? Waking up in someone's arms, making love with them every night? Could a man who would protect her from the world exist? She shook her head. It was all stories. The red flags, the ones world wants you to stay away from, but they love you and would burn down the world for you. Getting off her chair, she stretched her back and went to washroom to get done with her night care routine. It took her half an hour taking a shower, her skincare, and now she was clad in a bathrobe in her kitchen preparing herself a green tea. The doorbell rang. She looked at the time. It was 11 p.m. Wondering who it was at this hour, she demanded through the intercom. I came to deliver your parcel, came the voice from the other end. She never ordered anything. Nevertheless, she opened the door. It could be a letter or something from her work. She took the parcel and came back inside. It was a box, which upon opening left her with wide eyes and thundering heartbeat. Roses. Black ones. There was a letter and a little box beside it. She took them out along with roses, placing them on table. She opened the little letter. I'm going to bring your fantasies to reality, sweet cheeks. Keep the gifts. They won't kill you, but if you reject them, it will kill me. Good night. As exciting and thrilling it was, it gave away nothing but creepy vibes. She sniffed the roses and opened the little box, and it had a beautiful necklace with a rose pendant encapsulated in a glass. Her heartbeat never calmed down. She wondered if she was an idiot accepting a parcel without the sender's address mentioned on it. One. Who is it? For once, she considered throwing them away, but her stupid heart never allowed. Stupid indeed. She took the gifts with her to her room and placed them on the table beside her laptop and went to the bed. Was it like one of the stalkers from the stories she wrote? She felt the adrenaline pumping. Those who would kill anyone for you but love you like the world ends tomorrow. But those were the stories. The reality was much cruel and harsher than that. With all those possibilities circling around her head, she couldn't sleep the whole night. The next day went by usual. She went to her work, to the coffee place down the street on break time, returned home. But she felt nothing suspicious until she entered her building and advanced towards her apartment. She felt chills running down her spine, as if someone was there. The dangerous aura she felt, her footsteps came to her halt a few feet away from her apartment door. Another parcel. Laying in front of the door, she looked around instantly, nothing except for the chilly vibes crawling all over her body. She took slow, careful steps towards the box and picked it up. It had no address once again. The packaging was the same as last night. She went inside the apartment and locked the door behind her. It was another package with same black flowers like last night, but with a different gift. It was a red lipstick this time. She frowned and picked up the card. I crave you, like you crave roses. The night I see you wearing this for me, I'm going to bring heaven to you. Good night, sweet cheeks. She shuddered, goosebumps all over her skin. How did he know? She loved roses. She swore this man knew how to turn everything into dark fantasy. A part of her was scared, but another part was excited to see him. To see what he would do if she wore the lipstick for him. Surprisingly, the feeling of getting turned on was much greater than the fear. She couldn't help but touch herself at the thought of him. The same thing happened every night for the next 2 weeks. She received parcels every night, the same black roses but with a different gift and note each time. Sometimes they were even cute. She swore the man had the craziest duality. She received cupcakes, pastries, bracelets, and even cute hair accessories. The other times he messed with her brain, her heart, each part of her body, the lipstick, chokers, and even the lingerie. Nor with the last one had her in a chokehold. You wear moonlight like lingerie. She asked the security if anyone left the parcel or even asked them to check the CCTV footage. But unfortunately, the building she lived in was a cheap one. They offered cheap rent, and so they said the camera were not working, and they didn't mind getting them fixed. The other days, the elevator wouldn't work. She was saving money to get herself a home at a better place. Living at a shady place like this didn't seem like a wrong idea before, but now she was rethinking her choices. She was sitting in front of her laptop writing her fiction, and then the realization hit her. She couldn't believe how dumb she was to never realize till now that everything she wrote in her fiction for the day, one out of those things ended up in a gift that she received. She gulped. Her eyes lingered on the fluff she wrote today, cuddles and snacks, movies and fairy lights. She wanted to check it out, and she published it. She sat against the door waiting for the bell to ring. Tonight, she was not going to let that person go. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes passed by. Once the doorbell rang and her heartbeat rose up, she stood up, peeking through the hole, but there was no one. It took her a moment to decide if she shall open the door, but she did. A curse left her lips when she saw no one around except for that box that laid there like always. She picked it up and took a deep breath. Wine, I know you are there. You have to be. You have to make sure I take the box or not. She opened the box and exactly as she imagined it to be. There were roses and there was a brand new laptop for movies and fairy lights covering it. A bag beside the box filled with food and snacks. Wine, show yourself. I want to see you. The day I show myself, you won't be able to push me away. So ask for it when you're ready to be mine. Came the voice from the right direction where the hallway opened up to another path. She gurgled with a deep, dominant aura, the voice reflected. Ryan, how can you be so sure I'm going to accept you? I don't bluff, sweet cheeks. I said, I'm going to make you mine. Ryan, you can't with some gifts. You can't. She lied. She almost gave up on her resistance and almost asked him to make her his. He was playing with her mind and she knew it because it was working so well. You are not ready. I shall leave. Good night, sweet cheeks. Ryan, wait. She cursed internally. Isn't this exactly what he wanted to hear? Ryan, show yourself. I can. Give it a try, but you can't force anything. There. He chuckled. The little laugh was so low, she felt goosebumps crawling against her skin. He stepped out of the shadows, clad in a black outfit from head to toe, his eyes visible. One look at them almost made her step back. They were dark and dangerous. Oh, did I tell you? You can step back now, sweet cheeks. Each step he took closer to her, drawn her breath away till he stopped in front of her. His knuckles grazing against her cheek, and she never realized when she stepped inside the apartment. He closed the door behind himself and suddenly leaned down to her level. His fingers held her chin and eyes hovering over her lips. Now you're mine, only mine. He kissed her, and the box fell out of her hands. Her knees felt so weak she almost gave up on standing. It was his aura that radiated such dark energy that made her unable to move. She wondered what was going to happen now that she accepted the deal and she couldn't step back. To be continued.